Yo, 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 yo. It's another fucking podcast with your boys Bill, James, and Tig'S. Excellent Adventure, episode 50. That's right. This week, we're going to talk about...
The Patriots winning the Super Bowl.
And... It's a motherfucking alarm, baby. It's goddamn NBA trade deadline. Get your motherfucking faxes in, your emails sent, and motherfucking cross your T's and dot your I's because Davis ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. But a lot of other guys did, and we're going to tell you about them right here on the number one podcast in all of sports history. You funky bitch, you. Yo, 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 yo!
Streets getting colder even
That's
in
right,
the summer.
that's right,
Even when
that's
I see the sun, I still hear the thunder.
Yes.
But I'm
Yes,
stars
dog.
landing in the bullets, babies, old innocent ladies.
It's a
Whisper from the
motherfucking
killers under
special
moonlight. Fake young
podcast,
thugs,
baby.
really softer than some moon pies.
Because the
On
motherfucking
inside, I
Patriots
grind, I
have
shine.
won
Win
the
with
Super Bowl.
squad,
Because
and
it's
fuck you,
another
you shine.
fucking
Our mentality is success.
podcast.
Go, Pats, go.
I'm still flowing in the first place. Check
We
these
ain't
slices like a chess
go
game.
nowhere.
From your
No.
release date till
No,
your deceased date.
I'm doing my
can't
chair
stop.
dance, my Puff Daddy chair dance. Y'all need to go Google Puff Daddy. I'm a god. And look for the video. It's ridiculous.
Tom Brady in it.
That's how. No, it's not. He's not in it, but that's how Tom Brady was doing it.
Well, they need to reshoot that music video.
They need to put
Starring
Tom Brady
Tom
in
Brady.
it. Have him like this with Mr. Kraft with Meek Mill's chain on it that says champion.
And Robert Kraft's girlfriend.
Shout out to Meek Mill. Shout out to Nick Cannon being a hater, not liking Mr. Kraft coming into the clubs and grabbing all the bitches. He said that. So I'm saying it here. I'm putting it on wax. Man, I can't be any happier right now here with the Boston hat right here next to me.
That's Red Sox and Patriots for you.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Thunder about to win the championship, and you're going to go 3 for 3.
You know, I told you, you can't ever beat these odds. Alabama, Red Sox, Patriots. Mm-hmm. If one of them wins, one of the other two will win. If two of them wins, the other one's gonna lose.
You're guaranteed 2 for 3.
This is basic math. This is just basic math, okay, people. So,
What do you think of the game?
I thought the game was amazing. I know everybody thought it was boring, but I thought the game was absolutely amazing. I know people didn't stop watching it just because it was boring, quote unquote boring.
Well, I think people would have stopped watching if it was a blowout before they
Right.
than what it was.
Right, exactly. So I feel like you have in history, we have very few moments in Super Bowls where we have blowouts. Mm-hmm. I mean, where we have, where we have high-scoring,
games.
close games.
Yeah.
That's what I mean to say. High-scoring, close games. And, like, last year's Super Bowl 52 was an outlier. They usually aren't very high-scoring and very, like, shoot 'em out, bang, bang. Now, what is true about Super Bowls is a lot of them in the Patriots' history have all been one-possession games. They've all come down to one score. And what's also been true about the Super Bowl is we usually see a blowout, a truly boring game. But we didn't see that this time.
No, we didn't.
Mainly, obviously, because the Patriots are in the game. They never have but one possession games in all their Super Bowls. So, but also is because we're seeing two of the best teams defensively in the NFL. Two of the best defenses were in the NFL. I mean, if the Bears had made it, you know what I mean? It would have been the same thing. If the Saints had made it, we would have probably seen a very similar game because those are all the best defenses in the league right now.
I mean, that's why, the Rams signed Sue and Aaron Donald to huge deals.
Exactly. And Talib and Peters. You know, they went out and spent a shit ton of money, like NBA style type of money. And there's no way they can keep all those guys together.
Well, yeah, especially once they have to give Goff his inevitable huge deal.
Right. I don't know. I mean, that's a good question now. Do you think Goff is going to get what they call in the media the above Matt Ryan line or below the Matt Ryan line? So, because Matt Ryan's basically your average ass quarterback, but every quarterback that's really elite is getting paid more than Matt Ryan, and every quarterback that's really considered to be is getting paid right below Matt Ryan. So somewhere around $16 to $18 million. You're looking about talking about the what's his name in Denver?
Keenum.
Yeah, Case Keenums and the Dak Prescotts, which they think he's gonna probably get somewhere between 16 to 18, but not hit the 20 million or above.
I think he's guaranteed to go over Matt Ryan.
Oh, so
this dude is super young. I only has gotten better. I think there's definitely. I mean, how could he not get any better? I mean, he did so. Oh no.
Oh, it's just water. It's just the water.
He came so far with only really, looking at his first and second reads. Once he can really learn how to improvise at the line and improvise after the snap.
Yeah.
I can see that that path to improvement.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I don't really be thinking about him improving because, up until the last 15 seconds or 15 seconds right before the snap, I guess is what I should say, McVay is giving him all the orders and what he should do. And then he goes out there and does exactly what Sean McVay tells him to do. It's not really that complicated. They make it seem like they're doing very complicated stuff, but also like the Patriots, they keep it very simple, but they do a lot of showy stuff to make it seem like they're doing something different. For instance, the last three plays of the last drive of the Super Bowl, they ran the exact same play 3 times in a row. It just went to different guys.
Right.
And they moved Edelman on one side one time, and then they moved him back to another side. I mean, they did the exact same play every single time.
Only instead of just going to either one of your two options, you can look at all your options if you're Tom Brady. And more often than not, Edelman is the type of guy to, break out and get can see an open space in the zone.
Oh yeah,
Tom Brady can hit him.
He can.
That dude had a lot of wide open catches this Super Bowl.
Wide open, like that was the number one thing we kept saying. I was watching the Super Bowl with Tyrone. Shout out to Dope America, Mr. Dope America, and we were like, "Yo, he is wide open every time he gets." And then first they had Talib on him, which is what I said would be a key to them trying to win the game. But that wasn't working out. Talib was not jamming him at the line, which probably tells me either Talib had some money on the game or Talib was probably kind of hurt still. Like, he came back from an injury. Maybe he wasn't actually 100% because he chose not to jam him at the line. And I think that's because people underestimate Edelman's strength. He can push off of you and get space. And I think that's what he was doing a lot of. He was just getting a lot of first contact and taking off on these guys. And if he didn't get any contact, that's when he was like 10 yards open. It was crazy. And Gronk, he looked kind of healthy.
Yeah, and I thought he had the play of the game when he made that diving catch at the 4-yard line?
Yes. That was an amazing catch, and you might be right. That might have been the play of the game. I mean, offensive play of the game, at least.
Yeah, and then, it's kind of silly how we were talking about this before, but how we choose the Super Bowl MVP. if Tom Brady wanted the MVP, he could have called a passing play, but it was first down at the 4-yard line. You do what you're supposed to do. You run it, and Sony Michel gets a touchdown. That's what a winner does.
Yeah.
He make the right. The whole Patriots team makes the right call. They're a very if and then statement team, very pragmatic. If you do this, I'm going to do this. That's why you never see Tom Brady like getting all jacked up before his final drive. He's just like, well, here we go. That we've trained for this for 17 years. Let's go ahead and do it again.
It's very true. And I want to point out that Tom checked into a lot of runs. He checked down into a lot of runs. He audibled into basically making himself not really the focal point of the offense. But it was probably mostly part of their game plan to come out and run Sony Michel anyway.
Right.
Sony Michel, if he had gotten maybe 2 more touches, would have gone over 100 yards, and he would have been the MVP.
Yeah, it's a very stats-driven award. It happens in basketball, too. I don't really agree with it.
Like we were talking earlier, I said Dante Hightower should have probably gotten it if he hadn't dropped an interception, because he had, 3 sacks, 2 hurries, 4 hits, and a dropped interception.
Right. It's not like the Von Miller Super Bowl stat line.
Right. Forced fumble, touchdown.
Recovery, yeah. Which is like, all right, well, you guaranteed yourself a fucking MVP right there.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think I'm on your side. Dante Hightower was the real MVP of that game.
Or you could say,
a lot of the defensive backs.
You could say Flowers. I would give it to Flowers just because he had the actual interception and he forced a fumble. Mm-hmm. We didn't recover it. They didn't recover it, but he did force a fumble.
Yeah.
That prevented a first down.
Sure.
So, all I can say is, go Pats.
See you next year.
This defense is very young in comparison to a lot of in comparison to the Rams defense, for instance. I expect them to be able to keep this up. There are a lot of not impressive guys as far as in other defensive schemes. These guys don't play well. But in this defensive scheme, they play well, and I think that they realize that, and they like winning Super Bowls. So I can see this defense turning into Tom Brady's old defense, first defense in the Super Bowl. These guys could be Hall of Famers. Dante Hightower, I want to say, going to the Hall of Fame. Nobody talks about how many Super Bowls this dude has won and how many times he has been the reason that they've won the Super Bowl, and how when he wasn't in a Super Bowl that they played in, they lost the Super Bowl. Because he was injured. And when he's been injured, they play very bad on defense. And when he's been healthy, they play very good on defense. I don't know. Last year he wasn't in the Super Bowl, and they put up 40-something, 50-something points on him. It's terrible, So, I don't know. Everybody's been talking about Edelman going to the Hall of Fame. Who's your Hall of Famer? I think he's. Do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Well, and we could talk about the Hall of Fame being very, not stats, but very kind of. I don't know what the word for it is, but it's very like, well, if you get a Super Bowl MVP, you're most likely going to be in the Hall of Fame. But yeah, I think this dude, it's his third Super Bowl. He's, he puts up 100 catches a year almost. Yeah, he's one of Tom Brady's best targets, most reliable.
He doesn't have the yards or the Pro Bowls or the All Pros to get.
Like, is Andre Iguodala a Hall of Famer?
Ooh, well, see, that's basketball. They let anybody in there.
Yeah.
So he could be just because he's got
that Finals MVP.
He's got a Finals MVP. He's got
a
3
few
rings.
All-Stars. Yeah, 3 rings. Yeah.
3 rings. Been in All-Star
It's very much
game
like
plenty
doing
of times.
Edelman.
But he's been in the All-Star game plenty of times.
I think only like once or twice.
Edelman hadn't been to the Pro Bowl that many times. And you got to have at least. There's no Hall of Famer in the Hall of Fame with less than 4 Pro Bowls.
Oh, wow.
So you got to be up in there consistently. In the NFL, they say if you say the guy's name and you think Hall of Fame, like you're talking about, I mean, let me say this right. If you're talking about the Hall of Fame and you say the player's name in the NFL, and if you say his name and you don't think if you have to think about it a little bit, he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, then if that's the school of thought,
that's the general rule,
I mean, his career ain't even over, so we'll see, how the next few years play out. I just think the Hall of Fame, the highest honor, should be a little more prestigious. Tom Brady's.
I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame, but I do think Dante Hightower belongs in the Hall of Fame. Eventually, he'll retire and he'll be more appreciated than he is today.
Well, this game certainly helped his case.
Certainly, I do believe so as well. Let's see. So we're going to talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady didn't really play what people would consider well. I thought he played fine.
He played the game he needed to play. I think he realized early he didn't have to put up a whole lot of points. Maybe play a bit more conservative. That first interception, first pass attempt was rough.
Oh, my God. I'm so glad you brought that up. Chris Hogan.
Catch the damn ball.
He ain't catch shit the whole game.
Yeah, 6 targets.
6 targets, 3 drops. I think he had actually 5 drops and 1 Tom Brady threw in the dirt. Mm-hmm. It was just in his direction. He just didn't want to get hit by Aaron Donald. Let's talk about that. Maybe the fact of the matter is that he was looking at Aaron Donald half of those times he threw that ball in the dirt, and maybe he wasn't looking old. Maybe he was just looking healthy. I don't want to get hit in the head and not remember my daughter's face when I get out of this game.
Came out with a ring anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why people talk shit. You just you wanted Tom Brady to fall on his ass and lose. Mm-hmm. That's what people wanted to see.
It didn't happen.
Or they wanted to see Tom Brady throw for 500 yards and win. Mm-hmm. But it didn't happen because it wasn't necessary.
Yeah, I mean, they established the run. Sony Michel, I think this dude is for real. Great rookie running back, handled the pressure well. Gronkowski, he can take half the plays off in the regular season next year. I mean, this team is just they're not all jacked up. Like I said, they're playing the long game.
I think also if Gronkowski, if they use him in the running game more, it crazy as it sounds, it can ease up on his legs, and maybe he can get off more, and they can use more play action style. They use more play action for him. Have him fake block and roll him out in the space in those crazy zones that people like to play, and he just drop into a zone and catch the ball. First down, he can be the Jason Witten, because he's not a bad run blocker. He's a good run blocker. He's not like a Shannon Sharp, where you just or Jimmy Graham, where you just basically depend on him to catch the ball all the time. He's basically a wide receiver. No, I mean he's a wide receiver, but he can actually run block too. That's what made him and Aaron Hernandez such a dangerous combo. Is they could both run block and they could both catch like wide receivers.
Yeah,
and they were both fast. Well, fast for big dudes. But
and they were both killer.
No, they weren't.
Just one.
Oh, they weren't both killed. Oh, just one. Just one of them was killed.
Gronkowski.
They were both gay.
Killer.
Oh no, only one of them was gay. Only one of them was gay.
But yeah, Tom Brady, 6 rings. Don't take him for granted. This game was more of a game management win for him. Got to give it up to him.
Who's gonna be in the Super Bowl next year?
Fucking Patriots.
Fucking Patriots, you stupid bitches. Why did you even think that there was gonna be somebody else? Lord have mercy.
Hey, we called it last year.
Oh yeah,
the Patriots.
Called it. We actually said Rams too.
I said Eagles.
I think I said Rams. Yeah. And then Eric said Saints.
Oh.
Saints and the Patriots, I believe he said.
Those are some good podcast host people that you're
Man,
listening
let me tell you something. Y'all need to start listening to this podcast called Bill James and Tig's Excellent Adventure, episode 50.
to.
It's a special day. You guys, we're really just amped to get to this motherfucking real shit. I'm loving the NFL. I bid you adieu and goodbye until the draft, at least until the draft. But right now, it's time to go on to the NBA.
Anthony Davis from LeBron James in the All-Star game. Jason Tatum playing for 6 more months.
He's on fire.
Luka Doncic to Chris
Yeah, that's right. You crazy NBA fans. You've been waiting for Anthony Davis to be traded to the Los Angeles What?
Nah, brah.
Oh, no, it didn't happen?
We want 25 first-round picks.
That's right. I'm going to need to see 25 first-round picks. Let me get Kyle Kuzma, Josh Hart, about 7 other players.
He's heating up.
I saw this Twitter thing where it said Magic's got to give the cure to HIV if he wants Anthony Davis.
That's right, Magic. What I want is the cure to HIV. I want 6 bitches. I want to find the bitch who gave you HIV. I want to see what happened to her. What happened to her, Magic? I know you know who she is.
Dude,
Why?
she's in a river somewhere.
Yeah, why did she disappear, Magic? It's like, man, I want to know who killed JFK. I also want a starring role in Space Jam. I need a cameo in the newest Space Jam.
I'll be the 8th man off the bench.
I want to be a Monstar. Okay? Because guess what? You're not getting Anthony Davis, even though he kind of looks like a Monstar.
Yeah, so basically what this means, right, is there can be a little bit of a bidding war next year.
Hold on, let me officially introduce you. Let me traditionally introduce you right now. We're going to go to our LA Lakers insider, old Jamesy boy, James Haley.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Old Jamesy boy, happy to be here. Laker insider here. Basically, what this means is, and I'm predicting, a laughing stock of a season for the Lakers. You got all these young boys who are like, hey, what the fuck?
Mad.
Yeah. Why would I try my hardest for a team that doesn't want to be here? I'm playing with a guy who's actively shopping me. LeBron James just drafted Anthony Davis in the All-Star draft first pick. Who else did he choose? All the free agents. Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Klay Thompson.
Ooh.
This dude kind of upped and switched on everything. Why would I try so hard? And you saw it, last night against the Pacers. 42-point blowout by the Pacers. And, this is one of those, I think it's irreparable, unrepairable. I don't even know what the word is.
You mean the situation in the locker room?
In the locker room, you can't.
Unrepairable.
How can you look at each other in the eye when you just
Luke
actively?
Walton. Let me set it up for some of these people, because Luke Walton, his job's been threatened in the media, through sources, through LeVar Ball on television all day today. He was on television for 6 to 8 hours today.
Yeah, 3 of those hours were advertising for his new water. Big baller water.
Big ball of water, baby. Big ball of bread.
Never lost.
Triple B's, baby. It's stand for broke, begging.
Bitch. Bitch ass.
No, I had something. Broke.
Oh, my bad.
Broke, begging. I don't know, but they broke. I think they're broke.
Yeah, especially since they'll probably be in Phoenix or New Orleans next year.
Who wants to go to Phoenix? Well, you know what? I saw him explain it, okay? So LeVar Ball wants Lonzo Ball to go to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
According to him, because he thinks that he can convince them to get all of his sons.
Oh, God.
That's what he really wants. That's his real agenda. The Lakers apparently turned down his proposal to draft all of his children, and he is like upset about that. And the reason I think he's bringing this all up right now is because of the water that he has that he's trying to promote, and because he knew that if he spoke out right now, there's no way that they're going to trade his son because it's right up against the trade deadline. Like,
Yeah.
there's really no trade for them.
Well, yeah, I think what he wanted was like, okay, obviously this has to be a part of the Davis trade, but hey, you guys better flip me for something in Phoenix because there's no stars. There's no star power in New Orleans for a basketball player.
I mean, I just feel like he knew that there wasn't a trade really getting done, and that if there was a trade done, he knew that his son probably wouldn't be involved in it. And I think he was trying to force a trade because what he said so far is that if he doesn't get traded, which he ended up not getting traded on live television during the time which he was saying this. And he says, hey, look, I don't care if he doesn't get traded. And if he didn't get traded, I want Luke Walton out. And if he doesn't, if they're not going to trade him, they need to just fire Luke Walton. And I'm like, man, Luke Walton to me is a good coach. He's dealt with this shit as best as someone can deal with this shit. And he last year, to be honest with you, they should have been in the bottom of the bottom. He almost deserved Coach of the Year last year. They were like, what, 3 games out of the playoffs?
No, they're about 10 games, but
10 games.
It was like a 20 game.
I mean, 3 spots. I meant 3 spots.
Yeah.
3 spots out of the playoffs.
But it was like a 17 game improvement from the year before.
Right, and they shouldn't have even been that good, really, because as dominant as the Western Conference was and as tight as it was all year round. Again, the same position, and they're better than they were last year. Right now, I just feel like people in LA, Magic, whoever it is,
It's LeBron.
they need to. I wasn't gonna say it because I'm the LeBron hater, but
No, it totally. I mean, it's so obvious. I mean, he came over here as like, oh yeah, you know, and I even predicted this. I was like, look, you're not gonna win the title next year, but if you build something this year, and maybe next year, 1920 season, these 3, now 4 with Josh Hart, these 4 kids will have a whole year of experience playing with you, and you can really make a run there, and you'll have the space to sign one max contract. I mean, isn't that better? 4 young guys, LeBron James and a max contract guy, maybe
think it's
Kawhi Leonard, Klay Thompson.
I think it's better if LeBron decides he's going to play. This is going to sound crazy. I think Lonzo Ball should be full-time point guard.
Absolutely.
And they should let him play point guard and let move LeBron out of the way. LeBron, get out there and run. Get out there and get in space.
Or at least maybe stagger them.
Just get out in space. I don't think they should stagger him. They just need to just let Lonzo set it up and see if it works. You ain't giving the kid a chance so far to see if what his style of basketball that you drafted him for apparently even works or not. It's like drafting Michael Vick but never letting him run.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's bad. Maybe that's on Luke Walton. Maybe it's not. I
think
feel
it's
like
on
it's on
the
LeBron.
management.
Yeah, I feel
think
like it's on.
management is just saying, all right, you have to do whatever LeBron says.
You think Rob Pelinka came down and was like, hey, what's up, Luke? How's it going? Yeah, you think you should, put LeBron give him the ball a little bit more often. Let him run the point. You think that's what somebody's saying? You think Magic's somebody coming down and being like, let him run the point?
Close. I think LeBron told Magic, hey, I want to be the point guard. Magic went to Luke and be like, hey, fucko, give LeBron the ball or you're fired.
Boom. Yeah. And so you think Rob Pelinka's just sitting around chilling.
But
Rob Pelinka just fills out paperwork.
Now, hold on. Because I'll give them out. Both Rondo and Lonzo Ball have had 2 extended injury absences. So maybe, that has something to do with it. And this Brandon Ingram thing, it's 3 years in, and he hasn't really exploded the way the Lakers have wanted him to. I say it's still possible.
I think what they've done in Laker Town is not learn from their past mistakes, and they've created another Pau Gasol. Brandon Ingram is the new Pau Gasol. He has now been on the trading block the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That has a lot to do with how you perform on the court, and
especially if you're 19, 20, 21 years old.
And if you're not dedicated to the team, or if you feel like the team's not dedicated to you.
Why would you be dedicated to the team?
You got your option coming up soon. So
I do respect the fact that this is a business and the team will always try to do what's best for the team. But that's 3 years, and you have LeBron calling him little bro in all his Instagram posts. It's one way or the other. You can't go all in one way and then be like, oh wait, Anthony Davis? Yeah, man, hey, it was good meeting you, but so it's I'm telling you, this
it was
season,
nice meeting you, young fella.
This season is lost. This season is lost. Even if they make the playoffs, I don't see them getting past the first round. And then
I didn't see them getting past the Golden State Warriors with Anthony Davis.
Oh, I agree. I completely agree, and especially with no other team. I'm so like flabbergasted. I was like, look, you guys weren't going to win the championship this year anyway.
Right, especially since these other teams made trades as well today.
Yeah.
Like the Houston Rockets getting Iman Shumpert. I like that. And they got a 2021 second round pick. 2 other players that, they suck. But
what do you think about the Tobias Harris to the Philly trade?
I just want to point out that Brandon Knight went to the Cleveland Cavaliers. That might be good. They're going to have a crazy backcourt next year. Because they're going to trade everybody at the summer they're gonna trade everybody before the draft or during the draft because they're gonna be in the Zion sweepstakes.
Mm-hmm.
But Tobias Harris, I don't like that trade.
Why not?
I had some time to mull over it, and I was thinking, how are they gonna divvy up the ball? Like, who's gonna hold on to the ball? Who's gonna shoot? Where is the spacing? I know they got Tobias because he can shoot, and he's supposed to create more space. But I see his shooting percentage going down. He's basically a taller Jimmy Butler with less athleticism and doesn't play as much defense. I don't know. I feel like they got a bunch of the same players on the court. And Toronto just got Marc Gasol to battle with
I like that trade.
Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that trade. Like, they got rid of Valanciunas, who's soft.
Mm-hmm.
I really wish they could have kept Valanciunas and got Marc and they would have a crazy, deep, nasty, big man bench. team.
Well, they still have Ibaka.
That's what I was gonna say because they
Yeah.
would have had Ibaka and Valanciunas and Mark. But with Mark and Ibaka, that's gonna be crazy.
You know what that trade also does? It makes Kyle Lowry your third best player
Yeah.
when he used to be first or second best player.
And I really wish that they could have either, if they got rid of Valanciunas, that they could have gotten
Conley.
Mark and Conley.
Yeah.
But they decided to hold on to Mike. I'm like, man, please let that dude go and live his life somewhere else. Let him live a good life. Let him get out of the country. Mike Conley Jr. does not deserve this. He has come from a pedigree of good athletes. He should not have to deal with this bullshit.
Pretty sure he's going to get traded after the season, though. Hopefully for someone.
Hey,
Probably for some draft picks.
you never fucking know. But what do you feel about Harrison Barnes getting traded
To the Kings?
to the Kings, middle of the game?
Oh, that was tough. And they kept playing him. The Kings, at least they didn't play him.
Yeah. Well, he knew the Mavericks had told him that there was a possibility he would be getting traded during the game. And
Well, if you're honest about it, I can let it slide.
yeah, I mean, I feel that way too. But
I definitely think Harrison Barnes needed a change of scenery. When he went to the Dallas, that was when like Wesley Matthews and DeAndre Jordan was the first time was supposed to get signed. It was supposed to be a new era of Kings basketball. Then DeAndre Jordan got pulled out, and this dude's kind of stuck watching Kevin Durant win all those championships when he could have signed the extension back in whatever 12 or 13.
way
But-
back because he went for the bunny. He went for the money grab.
And yeah,
He got it. He got the money.
He was the highest paid player on the Mavericks.
He's rich. He's
Yeah.
rich right now.
But
He's rich as hell.
as a basketball player, I'm happy for him with the Kings. This De'Aaron Fox dude is the real deal.
Real deal.
They got a whole bunch of those other young players, Marvin Bagley, Cauley Stein.
They gonna be in the playoffs?
That's a good question, because I can see the Lakers staying out. I mean, anything's possible. Probably not, but watch out next year for this thing.
Yeah, I like the Kings. I used to like the Kings when they were, excuse me, going up against the Lakers all the time with Chris Webber and Bibby.
Stojakovic.
Stojakovic, Turkoglu grew
Christie.
4 inches. Turkoglu grew 4 inches while he was
Busted for steroids.
busted for steroids when he was in Miami. I mean, when he was in
Orlando.
Orlando. But when he was in Sacramento, he was over there getting it in. I guess maybe he was always getting it in. But the Sacramento Kings, they're a game out of the playoffs right now.
Oh, nice.
So, right behind the Clippers, who Doc Rivers, shout out to him, been coaching his entire dick off. He must have no dick by now. Gone. Because he has been coaching his ass off too. No ass. Zero ass. Had to go to a different tailor.
He's coaching his eyes off too. His eyes are the droopiest eyes I've ever seen.
That's just the lack of sleep.
Oh, there you
Because
go.
he's stressed out every game. He got to work extra hard. He got to outcoach everybody every time he gets up there.
And now, no Tobias Harris,
No Tobias Harris.
no Marcin Gortat. They bought him out.
He doesn't have any say in any of this anymore.
Well, he's not the GM anymore.
Not anymore. So they just making moves with or without his approval. I feel like he has a good relationship with Ballmer, so he won't be trying to leave anytime soon. So far, they've been working really well together, but I think they're in the Kawhi Leonard
Oh,
sweepstakes.
so they for sure are.
And I think nobody's been talking about Kawhi no more because he's been up in Toronto, not talking to anybody, missing games every once in a while, and, just performing, just out here averaging 26 points a game, whatever. But I think he's still coming to L.A. I think he still wants to come to L.A. Just bought a $47 million house. People, I want you to know that's a little inflated. Those numbers out here, that house doesn't really, it could be a small house. Could be a small place. Could be smaller than the place
Well,
you're
it's in
living
San
right now.
Diego.
Yeah, I mean, leading me even more so to believe that he's going to be a Clipper, because aren't the Clippers moving to the Forum?
They are moving somewhere new. They're building it's in Inglewood. I think it's next to the Forum.
It's next to the Forum.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think maybe that's why he got a place in San Diego, because it's a little closer to the stadium than, say, the Staples Center.
You don't have to go through downtown.
Don't have to go through downtown. Don't have to come back into the traffic. Yada, yada, yada. I think it's a strategic move, but I could be wrong. I could be really wrong. He could end up in fucking Atlanta next year, for all I know. I don't know.
I could see him staying in Toronto. I think Marc Gasol. I'm saying they're going to the finals.
Oh, you think that? Oh, we just jumping in like that.
Well, hey, I mean,
I'm looking at it right now. Toronto is 1.5 games out of the first place.
That's
They could
two
easily-
former Defensive Player of the Year award winners. Marc Gasol, great mid-range jumper, solid passer. This dude is underrated.
Who did? Oh yeah, the Pelicans traded
Mirotic
to the
Bucks.
You feel like Marc Gasol to Toronto trumps that Mirotic.
So, I already thought Toronto was fine. They're both Milwaukee and Toronto are good locks to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just like Marc Gasol's defensive ability to protect the rim and space the floor on offense in the mid-range. He's really good at that elbow free throw jump shot. And that's two defensive dudes on the Raptors.
How do you feel about the 76ers?
I like Tobias Harris as your fourth best player. And then Redick, maybe even your fifth behind Redick. And did you also see they traded Markelle Fultz?
Yes, Markelle Fultz will now be an Orlando Magic.
But yeah, anyway, back to Tobias Harris. I don't think it puts them I don't think it improves them amazingly. I still think Tobias Harris is playing for himself. He's a free agent this summer. Jimmy Butler also is. Ben Simmons still can't shoot a three-pointer, but I do like Joel Embiid.
Let me tell you something. I like this trade for.
You said you hated it.
No, for the Clippers.
Oh.
They get Mike Muscala, Wilson Chandler, a 2020 first-round pick,
Oh, yeah.
a 2021 first-round pick from Miami,
Oh, yeah, that's the good one.
and 2 future second-round picks from Detroit.
For an expiring Tobias Harris.
For Tobias Harris. For Tobias Harris. Oh, and a potential in Boban. See, the talent in Boban is potential.
Well, they sent him to Philly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
see what
they
you're saying.
they're
No,
like,
okay.
because he could end up being worth those 2 second round picks and the he ain't worth the first round.
I think if you need a guaranteed 4 points in 2 minutes, you can put Boban in.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in the next 2 years, if Boban can get, if he can just get his conditioning down, if he can be out there for a long period of time without needing to be pulled out of the game because he's too slow and too tired.
I'm saying I think he is the perfect 4-minute guy. There are 4-minute guys.
Yeah, you got to have him.
And he
Big
will,
Baby Davis.
His plus minus will always be plus
Always
in that
be
4
close.
minutes.
He's it's ridiculous. Everybody gets scared when they're out there. Yeah, I just wanted to ask you because those 2 guys are pretty good together. Tobias Harris and Boban. They actually are really good friends. They got a little YouTube series if you want to check it out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's nice. Boban.
Oh, I think you told me about this before.
Yeah, I might have told you about it before, but didn't let the people know about it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, there was another trade I was going to talk about. John Wall popped his ankle, tore his Achilles. I don't believe his story. He said he fell slipped and fell at home
God.
and popped his Achilles. You usually pop your Achilles when you're running or doing something active or like slight movement, sudden movement.
A fall would not do that.
Planting your foot hard. Falling would take place after you popped your Achilles.
Exactly.
Right.
What's the order of events here that happened in this?
Yeah,
house?
how did this work out, John? And what were you smoking? And may I have some? Because it's obviously really good if you fell and then popped your Achilles tendon.
Yeah, they're going into full tank mode for the Zion Williamson.
It's all about Zion Williamson. Like, do you think the Rockets, by the way, got better with Iman Shumpert?
Sorry, say that again.
It's Shumpert. Do you think the Rockets made? Do you think Shumpert makes the Rockets better?
I mean, I'm assuming he's just gonna do what he did in Cleveland when he won a championship: corner threes, and solid defense. I don't think it puts them over the top.
I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Paul gets hurt again and the Rockets fall to the 8th. Because like
It's about that time.
it's about that time. They're only like 4 games ahead of the Clippers right now. So something bad could happen to anybody on that team. Bam, they're out of there. I feel like they're close to being out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the overachieving Spurs. Didn't make any moves really.
Playing their game.
Playing their game, staying here. They did make one move. Popovich made a call to what's his name, Demps, the GM for
Pelicans.
the Pelicans, and told him. Well, I don't know exactly what he told him, but it's reported that he told him basically, "Boy, you better not trade that. Boy, you better not trade Anthony Davis to the Lakers, boy, no, don't you do it." And they didn't do it.
So yeah, going back to it. So this summer, now their Lakers are in a bidding war for a possible last year of Anthony Davis with the Celtics. And the Celtics, I saw this tweet. Celtics reportedly say, yeah, don't do the Laker trade. It'll be worth your while if you wait this summer.
Well, that happens a lot apparently in the NBA. A lot of promises are made. Like, yo, we'll give you this dude for that dude if you just wait.
They wouldn't even say who they would give, though. They just said it'll be worth the wait.
Yeah, it's Tatum. It's Tatum.
You know what I say?
Kyrie.
Promises. What are they supposed to say?
Well, I mean, they can't.
Nah, we're going to lowball you. You should probably take that trade. Well, maybe we'll have a better trade.
Right. I mean, who knows? Maybe they know that they're going to get Zion Williamson or something.
The Celtics?
Yeah, maybe. Look, man, all I know is Danny Ainge is like a little fucking like trade gnome. He fucking comes in the middle of the night and like whispers into your ear and tells you what you want to do, and then you wake up in the morning and you've traded your entire franchise over to fucking Danny Ainge. I don't know what the fuck I don't know how he does it. But what I do know is everybody's tanking to get Zion Williamson. And everybody's trying to maneuver. There was something out there saying that if the Knicks get Zion Williamson, there's a chance that they would trade him for Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
I was like, what? That sounds crazy. Why would you do that? That's got to be misinformation. It's got to be a lie.
Yeah, that's just hypothetical.
Right. It's got to be somebody. I feel like somebody put that out there from the Knicks just so people think that that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's never going to happen. Like, for instance, Cleveland, I think, is going to get Zion Williamson. It's going to be either Cleveland or Phoenix. They are tanking so unbelievably hard. They got rid of Rodney Hood today and sent him to Portland. Now, they getting two future second round picks with that one. Doesn't say when those are. I'm guessing maybe they're this year. Rodney Hood, though, has been playing pretty good with the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers that are playing there, they've been playing all right. They just suck as a team. The guys who are good there are good still, but they just suck as a team. And they shouldn't have. None of them should have ever or would have ever been on the same team if they hadn't had LeBron James there before. So they're just a hodgepodge of dudes. Portland Trailblazers, though, they just got a little better, I think, with Rodney Hood. I mean, they're in the 4th spot. Do you see them moving up, or
Who's
you
ahead
think
of
they?
them? Denver, Westbrook, and Curry.
Yeah, OKC, Denver, and Curry.
I don't think Hood is gonna bring them above those teams that have true MVP talent.
Okay, well, since
I think they're good at the 4.
Since we've talked about all the shitty teams, because that's really all the teams. The teams that made moves today mostly are just really shitty teams. Dumping salaries, moving
bodies from
contracts, and moving. In some cases, they just traded bad players.
Thon
for another
Maker
bad player.
for another trash player.
Yeah, like, oh, I hope this works out for you, and I hope this also works out for you.
Well, let bygones be bygones.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's like, well, I made a bad decision with him, but maybe you can.
Maybe I'll take your bad decision and make it just a decision.
Yeah, maybe we could do that with children. But let's talk about the good teams. We got the Golden State Warriors,
Championship, guarantee it.
Denver, OKC, Portland, Houston, San Antonio, Utah, and at number 8, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Can I ask you a quick aside? Did you see Rudy Gobert crying because he didn't make the All-Star team?
I didn't see him crying because he didn't make the All-Star team, man. No, I mean,
A reporter comes out to ask him about it. He starts answering, and he does this. He goes like, if he didn't, you couldn't
hands
see
all
me.
over his
Put
head.
hands over his eyes. I was like, dude,
crying.
this is if you're crying over an all-star team, you're basically crying because people don't like you, and if that ain't gonna cause even more bullying for your ass on the court, man, these NBA players are gonna eat you alive. Anyway,
that's a terrible look. I mean,
dude,
that's just bad. Like,
crying because you didn't. It's like crying if you did because you didn't win an Oscar award.
well, one thing he shouldn't be crying about is in the last 10 games, he's there. His team is 7-3.
Yeah, be happy about that.
Be happy that you're moving into the echelon of the Rockets and the Portland Trailblazers and the Denver Nuggets. Like, you're up there right now. Like, come on, man. Don't cry.
Together.
Get it together. I mean, you don't see Popovich crying that his most important player on the team gets traded, and then he has to make it work. And look at him. He's at the number 6 spot, right above the
Right above your
Utah
ass.
Jazz, man. Right above you weak motherfucker. Now, what I am worried about is the Lakers. I know we said we weren't talking about bad teams no more, but, like, they were in the 4 spot just, a few weeks ago. Just a month ago, they was in the 4 spot.
The Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then LeBron went down, and Ball went down, Rondo went down.
4 and 6
And of course,
in the last 10.
nobody wants to play for the team. Although they did just beat the Celtics right now.
Yep, 1-game winning streak. That's just what the stats say here,
Yeah.
people. I'm just reading the stats, people. I'm just reading the stats. I'm going to continue to say Paul George being overwhelmingly overlooked for MVP. Man, he should be MVP right now.
This dude is balling.
Him or Jokic, the Joker. Them two dudes, they're the best team. They're the best players on their team right now.
Yeah.
They are balling out of control. And Jokic, man, his numbers are crazy. Go look them up. I'm not looking up the numbers for you. You go do participate in your own education, people.
He's a triple-double threat every night,
Triple
though.
double threat. He's got 7 or 9 this season.
Mm-hmm.
I think Westbrook has more though.
Oh, yeah. Westbrook is Mr. Triple-double.
Mr. Triple Double. So in the West, who do you see falling out? We do this every week, basically.
Lakers.
But
Oh, amongst those,
out of the
I don't-
playoffs,
I mean, if I had to choose one, the Jazz. 'Cause you got crying Gobert over there. Crying.
Crying Gobert. You know what? And who are you gonna put in there?
Crying as Brandon Ingram.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with Utah as well, but I'm gonna say Sacramento. I think.
Oh,
they
yeah,
made,
yeah.
I think they made the trades necessary to really get in there, and man, wouldn't that be a dope reemergence of that rivalry, the Lakers and the Kings? It's kind of weaker because they just be fighting for the 8th spot.
And they both fucking suck.
They both really don't.
Let's fight for the fact of who's going to get swept by the Warriors.
Yeah, hey, the worst things to fight for in life.
True.
You know what I mean? So anyway, let's just hop that same question right on over to the East. East is the least, but the Pacers, I hate to be a told you so, but I told y'all so. Fucking shot up to the fucking 3, and they've been hanging on without Victor Oladipo.
That's very impressive.
Very impressive.
Both by them and by you.
Yes.
You got a real eye for talent.
I like basketball.
Basketball is your favorite sport.
It's my favorite sport to watch, for sure. Mm-hmm. It is my favorite sport to watch. It is very easy for me to evaluate talent on a basketball court. But shout out to the Brooklyn Nets. I think they're going to stay into the playoffs. Who do you think
All-star
falls out?
D'Angelo Russell, former Laker.
Former Laker. Hey, what's that? Man, y'all got a lot of former Lakers that should have probably stayed on the team, huh?
Brook Lopez.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, guys that you drafted too. But we'll just give you the rundown real quick. Milwaukee, number 1. Toronto, Indiana, Boston, 76ers, the Nets of Brooklyn, the Charlotte Hornets, and the Miami Heat. Rounding off at number 8.
I guess it's too easy to... I still like the Pistons. I like Blake Griffin. He seems to be locked in. I don't know if
They
you saw
made,
that clip of him saying he needs to take more shit more seriously, and then Reggie Jackson
Yeah.
got in his face. That was
Saw that.
cringeworthy, but
Yeah, it was terrible.
I like him as a leader.
Yes.
And if I had to choose one to drop out, no disrespect, but the Miami Heat.
No disrespect.
It's-
Miami Dolphins. You just call you
That
by the
was so-
different team.
That was so disrespectful.
so disrespectful.
The Miami Heat. But they're the 8th seed.
Also surprised Hassan Whiteside didn't get traded, but he's been playing really well or decent. So maybe he's trying to make sure he doesn't get traded, But you might be right. But I'm hoping that the Heat, just because I like Pat Riley, get to stay in, and the Charlotte Hornets fall out. And the Pistons, I do believe you're right, will get in. But
How many games difference is Hornets and Heat?
they are tied for
I'm switching my pick. Charlotte, you're out. Dolphins, you're staying in.
Dolphins. You get to stay. Get rid of them bugs. I don't like no bugs. And yeah, the Pistons, we're gonna let y'all in just because we're trying to save Detroit. There are 2 games out of the playoffs basically right now. Boston 8-2. They done turned it up. What you think? You think they're a threat? You think they're gonna get back into the finals?
I think this team is gonna.
into the Eastern Conference Finals.
No,
No.
I think this team is falling apart from the inside. I like, like I said, Marcus Gasol on the Raptors and MVP Yanni over here. Kyrie, is an amazing player.
Yay.
But
Uncle Drew is,
as
though.
we saw with the Lakers, locker room stuff is real. And this dude is not being a good presence for the... Plus, kind of the same situation. Tatum's probably like, hey, why would I bust my ass? You guys are going to trade me this summer.
I agree. I think it shows and proves it's proven in their opponent's points per game percentage. They're allowing in the top 4 teams. All of those teams have the top opponents they allow less points per game than anybody else in the Eastern Conference. But the Celtics are like 3 points behind everybody else, really. They need to step it up. Last year they was defensive machines. I think really that's where it's coming from. The lack of effort, like you said, maybe not feeling like they're going to be here next week. Now all that's over. It's the end of that. About to hit the All-Star break. Everybody's going to come back fresh. And, man, they went 8-2 in this little onslaught of worrying and, hey, what's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. But the Pacers are a problem for them because they're 6-4 in this 10 games without Oladipo. It's getting serious, man. I'm loving this NBA season. I'm thinking it's going to be – I think the Eastern Conference stays pretty much just like it is. Actually, I hope that what we said happens. But I pretty much think that the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference are basically a lock right now. A lock. You can pretty much move some people up and down after the 6 and 7, but the teams that are there, I think, will be there. Because marketing-wise, it looks good for the NBA. It looks pretty good. And all these.
You hear that, Lakers? The NBA is better off without you. Go back to the trade board with your Mike Muscala. Fucking bullshit.
Hey, Lakers, LA is going to have a team in there, baby. LA will have a team in the playoffs. That's what I know. I will have an opportunity to spend way too much money on a playoff game to watch the Lakers or the Clippers lose. Anybody want to shout out?
Shout out to Luke Walton. You know, he's
hey, that was a good one.
He's busting his ass. He's doing the best with what he's got. Sometimes shit is out of your control and you're getting an unfair deal. But if you're nice to somebody, you're a good guy all around, good person all around. More often than not, karma's gonna shoot you right back up to where you deserve.
I want to give a shout out to Kevin Love. I'm really surprised you didn't get traded today, Kevin Love. But what it tells me is you're really hurt. I mean, you must be really hurt. And I'm concerned that your career might be over. But if it is, make sure you come to Los Angeles and become a Laker.
Get the gang back.
Yeah.
Back with LeBron.
Yeah, you, Kyrie. Come on, man. Come down here. You can hang out with Brandon Ingram. You know, we'll make him an assistant coach. And you and Lonzo, we'll get rid of Lonzo.
Never lost.
Never lost. Big baller brand. Triple B. I can't remember what the other one was. It was broke,
Butchered.
begging, and something else. Can't remember, but it doesn't matter now. We thank y'all for listening. We gave you a smooth, sexy hour of talking, and we hope you enjoyed every fucking second of it. I'm trying to come up with a different podcast idea. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all got some ideas of what y'all want us to talk about, post it in the comments, send it in Instagrams, whatever. But we're going to do some more
What do you want to hear?
in-depth shit. So yeah, tell us what you want to hear. And we'll get that shit popping. Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We love you. And good night. Good night. Night. Night.
It just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not gonna want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about them no more.